European air and a lifelong Liverpool fan. Well, Michael Owen scored 15 minutes into his Liverpool debut. It seems as though he's been scoring every 15 minutes since then. 100th appearance, his last appearance as a Liverpool teenager today. He will be 20 on Tuesday, and already a 51-goal club total to his name, plus 5 more for England, a couple of those rather significant. Clyde Vinehardt's been scoring goals though. His headed winner here against Queen's Park Rangers last weekend lifted Huddersfield Town to the top. A dozen goals for him this season. He's played against Liverpool just last season for Leeds United. They won that game by 3-1 at Anfield. Vinehart is a product of the Ajax youth scheme, and so too is number 40, Dean Gorey, the Dutchman who came in the summer directly from Ajax, for whom he played in the Champions League last season, adding a hint of polish to the Huddersfield Town midfield. Steven Gerrard, whose preferred position and likely future is in midfield, but who has been switched to right back, the position in which he finished last weekend for Liverpool against Sheffield Wednesday, and a position in which he excelled against maybe the outstanding left winger in the English game, Harry Kewell, at Leeds earlier in the season. He really is going to be some player, Gerrard. Well, this ground, 24,000 capacity, has hosted a Rugby Union World Cup quarter-final, a Rugby League Challenge Cup semi-final. It's hosted REM and Bryan Adams, and this afternoon it hosts Ron Atkinson. Who's going to win, Ron?
I think it's been a question of strikers. Both teams have got good front players. Huddersfield's strengths lay up front, and they've got to try and get after the game, I think. I think the likes of Vinehart, Marcus Stewart, Ben Thorley and Gorey have got the answer if Huddersfield are to survive.
Well, it's had its knockers, but it certainly had its knockouts again yesterday, and this is the FA Cup at its very best. The leaders of the rank and file against one of the leaders of the aristocracy. Hope against expectation. The expectancy is with Liverpool, and with Sweetser on the ball. Clearance by Gray. Staunton, a cup winner with Liverpool. A little lively for Danny Murphy. Gerrard is playing at right back. Here's Sweetser just ahead of him, taking on the left back Vincent, who manages to shepherd him out of play for a goal kick.
You know, it's ironic as well, you know, you think the England national team are looking for left-sided players. If you look at the Huddersfield team, they've got 2 central defenders who are both left-footed. They've got a triangle out on the left, they're all capable of using the left feet.
Marcus Stewart, 2 up front.
Yes, I just wonder how much unbalanced that might be with Craig Armstrong playing on the right-hand side of defence.
Here is Armstrong, the red-haired central defender, whom Ron Atkinson sold to Huddersfield Town from Nottingham Forest. His last match for Nottingham Forest was against Manchester United at the City Ground last season. 8-1 was the score. Irons down to Francis, now Gorey. This is great. Now Vincent. Two clubs looking to reinvent history. The team of the 20s versus the team of the 70s and 80s. Both Huddersfield and Liverpool have undergone expensive makeovers in search of fresh success. A lot of money spent during the summer. A lot of new faces. Sweetser new to the FA Cup. Out to Staunton. Hamann, who played in the final last year for Newcastle. Sweetser foul.
The other big thing, Huddersfield, of course, have gotten their favourites. Obviously, they'll want to win or get a replay out of it. But all the expectancy is on Liverpool. Huddersfield's prime objection, obviously, this season is to try and be playing Liverpool as league opposition next season.
Sweetser caught in possession by Sellers. This is Ben Thornley, charged down by Dietmar Hamann. Jamie Vincent, looking to go over the head of Gerrard, who just managed to cut out a ball meant for Marcus Stewart. Here is Stewart. Now Sellers. Thornley. Charged down by Gerrard. And a real foothold now for Huddersfield to launch an early attack. A corner which Vincent will take. And for which Gray has come forward. In towards the near post, it almost came for Irons, and that was a smart save by Sander Westerveld. Kenny Irons, the Huddersfield Town skipper, with a snapshot which Westerveld might have seen late.
Yeah, well, you've been led to believe this year that Liverpool's Achilles heel of the past, defending corners, is gone. But certainly on that occasion, desperately unlucky not to take the lead, Huddersfield. A smart shot by Kenny Irons, unfortunately went straight into Westerveld's arms.
Dutch goalkeeper was brave too, with his fellow countryman Clyde Weinhardt closing in. Here is Irons on the ball. Early forward towards Weinhardt. Hopia left it for his goalkeeper and left it for Weinhardt, who has a real chance. And Westerveld has to be brave again. Well, Westerveld is still down, and he's in agony. Play goes on. I don't know if Rob Harris, the referee's aware. Liverpool have the ball now, and Steven Gerrard's played it up to Michael Owen, and they've got to get the ball out of play. But the Dutch goalkeeper is in real pain. He was in distress from the moment that he made that courageous stop from Clyde Weinhardt.
That was certainly a vital moment. Some great movement from Weinhardt here. Little bit of hesitation there. Hurpia thinks that the keeper's going to come and get it. He does eventually get it, but pays the price by the look of it.
Sami Hurpia was pointing there as if he was leaving the ball for Westerveld to come. Westerveld stayed at home until Weinhardt had it, and it was the way their legs tangled after the shot had got away there. Oh, Weinhardt's right leg went right in on Westerveld. No intent, but a lot of pain.
But that might be a big psychological moment for Weinhardt, you know. He looked to me as if he got the legs there on Hurpia.
Incidentally, Joe Corrigan is not the Liverpool substitute goalkeeper.
It certainly looks as if he got the legs on Hurpia there, and that will just pace startles defenders, and I'm not too sure Hurpia will be too enamoured with that. But good cross movement, a good ball played into him by Kenny Irons.
Brad Friedel, the American international, is the Liverpool reserve goalkeeper, and he was on the bench, but it looks like Westerveld's going to be okay. Friedel warming up just in case. Well, a couple of early alarms there for Liverpool. No team in the English leagues has scored more regularly in front of its home fans than Huddersfield. No team in the Premier League, though, has a better defensive record than Liverpool. Measures of real progress at both clubs. Ben Thornley, who operates down this left-hand side but prefers his right foot. He's a good balanced two-footed player. Vincent in towards Weinhardt, headed away by Staunton. Danny Murphy, a right footer on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Staunton. Camera misread his intentions.
Yeah, Kamara pulled short for that one, where Staunton was looking for him to run down the gully and behind the defenders.
Phil Thompson is Gerard Houlier's assistant. Thompson, the FA Cup winner with Liverpool himself. Camera. Seemed to be turning back into trouble, but he's found a route out with Jamie Carragher. Rode the challenge from Gorey. Owen out on the left-hand side. Murphy trying to turn. Sellers with the challenge. Weinhardt. Carragher tidying up. Switzer to Gerrard. Here's Dietmar Hammer. Camera.
Yeah, I think in the course of the game, you know, we're going to see Camera switching out to the left side a lot. Guys, Bertie as the left wing, let Danny Murphy take his place in field.
Sweets it to Hammer. Owen was the intended target. Now Owen does receive the ball, but the flag was raised. He was just beyond the last defender. That was for the first attack. That's when the flag went up.
Yeah, he never quite got himself back on side, did he? Smart decision, because it looked a lot tighter than that.
Whereas Camara and Murphy are interchangeable on the left, Smitzer is holding the Liverpool width on the right-hand side here. Carragher's header has found Camara. Now Haman, Staunton. Carragher up towards Haman, well read though by Armstrong. Carragher into Camara this time. Haman has played him in. It's Titi Camara. Terrific move. Cut right through the Huddersfield rear guard, but Titi Camara pulled his shot disappointingly wide.
Oh, Sitter missed. Great little 1-2 between Haman and Titi Camara, and he really pulls cracks right across the ball. Firm ball in there by Carragher. Nice little give and go, and he's in. Must score. And that is as bad a message you'll see this season.
We've had some chances for 10 minutes of football, haven't we?
Yes. 2 opportunities at the top end, and that one there, which was that's as good a chance as I think I've seen it this weekend in cup football.
Beinhardt. Here's Carragher. Now Gerrard. He just stumbled as the ball came to him, and that opened the door for Beinhardt to make the challenge. Carragher to Camara. Cut out by Steve Jenkins. Kenny Irons. Jamie Vincent. Here's Ben Thornley. A little bit of space for him now to run at Gerrard. Trying to go on the outside, drives in the ball! And Westerveld had to be very alert on his near post. Stinging shot from Ben Thornley. It's a corner.
Yeah, good positive play by the ex-Man United left winger. Picked it up, roared at the defence and fired it. May have fired across the face of the goal. But certainly another reminder for the Liverpool back line.
Stewart with a little header at the near post.
You know, and you're looking at that, I think Ben Thornley could do plenty of that, because Smeece is virtually playing, as you say, as an out-and-out right winger. But Gerrard is staying very much in line with his 2 central defenders. And it looks to me as if every time Ben Thornley wants to check back, he can pick up that ball to run at the defence exactly as he's just done there.
There's so much been said about how his career was interrupted by injury at Manchester United almost before it got started, and how highly Sir Alex Ferguson thought of him. It's as if his career has been written off, but it's coming on very, very strong again here at Huddersfield. Ben Thornley is only 24 years of age, and they are talking about him as a possible England international of the future. Irons. Gorey. Beinhardt's got in behind. Herpier here. It's Beinhardt. Irons was there. Might come for Gorey. Blocked by Stefan Onsho. Sammy Herpier, who's having such a good season, was caught dawdling there, and Irons looking to go over the head of Westerveld, and Huddersfield are giving Liverpool plenty to think about.
That was the result of some great play between the 2 Dutchmen. A little threaded ball through from this fellow Gorey into Beinhardt's run. Look at this little thread outside of his right foot. He leaves Herpier for dead, fires it across, scramble of defenders, just can't get his footing properly there, and a brave block there from Hunches. But Beinhardt is causing all sorts of problems with his movement.
But that chance had come to one of the many left-footed players in Steve Bruce's team that we were talking about, and he probably wouldn't have checked in the way that Gorey did.
Yeah, I think he was a bit unlucky as well. He stumbled, didn't he? He appeared to stumble just as he received possession. He came back out there.
Now there are 5 Huddersfield players out of the game as Haman comes forward. Turn away from Irons. Slip through towards Michael Owen here. Oh, he just tried to lift the ball over Nico Vazen. It was a terrific attempt. It's won a corner kick. But
similar sort of move to the last one, the Huddersfield move. There is Haman, plays that ball between people. Unfortunately, can't quite get his first touch right, but tries the audacious thing of trying to stand it over the keeper, and the keeper managed to get a block on it. But this is great end-to-end stuff now.
all corner in towards Herpia, who was rather backing into Gerrard. But there were opportunities there.
I think what's helping the game flow as well, you know, I mean, this is plenty in there. He hasn't got to run. He really needs to be running at that ball to get any purchase on it. What's happening is, with the possible exception of Gallagher, there's no defensive midfield players on the field. I mean, Haman picks it up and travels with it, and you look at Sellers and Irons, they go the other way with the ball, and it's making for a very end-to-end game.
I think Gerrard's view of that corner was blocked by the massive figure of his teammate, Sami Herpia.
You don't like to see that in the corner. I like to see people coming in, particularly the big defenders, travelling in that.
Well, Herpia's forward again now for a free kick. It's Staunton. Headed by Irons, doesn't really get the job done. Awkward for Vassen.
The irony of that free kick is nobody ran in on it.
Vassen's throw asked a lot of Jenkins.
I think the crowd realises, well, they've got a good game on their hands now, because there's a great sort of atmosphere about the match.
Plenty of openings, no goals. Quarter of an hour play. Gerrard with a misplaced pass. Don't forget, the draw for the Euro 2000 finals is going to take place shortly in Brussels. England's name is in the pot, just down at the bottom of the pot at the unseeded end. One of the last names out, but as soon as that name does come out, I will give you information of that draw. Gore. Sellers. Now Jenkins has some crossing space. Charged down by Staunton. Ben Thornley.
That's probably the first time the Smith has got back and supported his fullback. In the old days, a Samuel Lee or a Jimmy Case would be out there, first man out always, so the left winger very seldom got a run at people.
Camera now trying to break in behind Vincent and run at Gray, who bundled him to the ground. And the referee is going to do more than have a word with Gray this time.
Yeah, that's a booking, to be fair. Gray realises he's getting done for pace. He makes sure Camera doesn't go any further. A little bit of dramatics at the end of it, though, to be fair.
Haman rolled into Murphy, rolled into Camera, whose little flick didn't quite come off. Headed by Honcho. One back by Sellers. Ray to Jenkins. Now Armstrong. Gore. Given away very disappointingly to Dietmar Haman.
He's certainly getting plenty of the ball, Haman. He's making them tick. Not too concerned about any defensive responsibilities.
Carragher. Camera. Here is Haman. Now Smitsa. Camera. Well, he felt he was caught by Armstrong, but he made a meal of it. And Rob Harris is very well placed. Vincent tossed forward towards Stewart. On show is there. Rather ambitiously looking for Gerrard. Huddersfield Town have a throw in upfield as a result.
Not hard to see where Huddersfield score so many goals, though. The two front players make great runs off the back of defenders. They come, they spin, and people like Sellers are well capable of just planting the ball in behind the back line and knowing full well that either Stewart or Beinhardt are going after it.
Stewart. Vincent. Stewart again. Now Thornley. Stewart got in behind Liverpool, but the return pass was slightly overhit. But there's a menace about this Huddersfield left side. Certainly 3 of the 4 Premiership sides that fell yesterday were short of form, but Gerard Houlier's Liverpool have won 6 of their last 8 games. Mind you, Huddersfield have won 8 of their last 10. Both are wearing rings of confidence coming into this game. Herpier wearing the captain's armband in the absence of Redknapp and Fowler.
I think without the Huddersfield backline trying not to give too much space behind, too much depth, I think that they'll be quite happy to see Liverpool hit long balls up like that. I don't think they'll be happy to see it when it goes through Haman.
Owen. Caught then. Had one glimpse of Michael Owen, who's had one glimpse of goal and who improvised a delightful chip to force the best from Nico Vass and the Huddersfield keeper. Both goalkeepers have seen plenty of action in this opening quarter. There's more on the way for Vassen with Staunton's free kick in towards Herpier. Vassen punches, somehow back over his own head. Beinhardt with a centre-forward's clearance, and then Jenkins with a full-back's clearance. Gerrard. Staunton who take this corner out here. Herpier finding himself in a false position too. Gerrard into Smitsa. Liverpool just getting their shape back. Camera was pulled out to the left-hand side. Lovely control. Now Haman. Now Carragher. It's charged down by Irons. It will be a corner kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, some good firm one-touch passing from Liverpool then. Ending with Gerrard switching a 70-yard ball almost across the camera.
Herpier's on the near post. Taken in towards Carragher. It'll come to TT Camera. A pretty wild swing and a pretty wild result.
I tend to think Liverpool should have quite a sizable advantage here. Huddersfield don't seem to be the tallest team in the world, particularly with people like Moncao not playing and Lacketti out, but they're defending solidly. That was a good block. Camera had no time to sort out a nice easy volley for himself. The big thing about the game for me is the tempo both sides are playing at. It's a very, very good tempo, and there's some quality play with it as well.
The only mystery is the scoreline, which is blank. Murphy. Now Gerrard. Smitsa. Haman. Murphy stepping over the ball. Camera didn't read him. Thornley. Stewart couldn't quite reach there. Calmly cleared by Westerveld. Carragher's headed down. Haman, camera. Oh, that's a clever change of direction. He's asked a lot of Michael Owen, but he can make up ground on most. Baston had to intervene.
I think Gray was clever there. I think he just made sure that Owen couldn't get a full side of his run there, enabling the keeper to come out and clean it out.
Camera trying that little turn again, but Armstrong wasn't having any of it. Sellers to Irons. Now Vinehart. Stewart, good play. Carragher got amongst them though. Well, Murphy's lost it. Irons has found it. Here goes Gore. Opportunities. Still Gore, deflected. Would be a corner. It could have been worse for Liverpool.
Another good positive break there from Gore. Took advantage of a midfield misunderstanding, carried the fight, drove on, had options, and yet was a bit unlucky with his shot. Vinny's there, deflection might have looped the keeper there.
Gray, the centre-back, is right on the line. Guided in by Vincent. And Westerveld takes it comfortably. There's plenty of Son to Westerveld, 6 feet 4 inches. He is a Dutch international. Gore has never been capped by his country, but he has the pedigree. Anybody who's come from that Ajax school of football has learnt the basics well. Switzer. Showed too much of that to Jamie Vincent. Scott Sellers. Tossed in towards Vinehart. Got between defenders. Oh! Well, he seemed to have done everything right there. But his shot whistled a foot wide, and Vinehart doesn't quite know how or why.
This is pure quality from Scott Sellers. He's pulled on the shoulder. He's been threatening to do that all match, Vinehart. He keeps pulling off the shoulder of Herpier. There, he's more or less hit the ball too straight. He's tried to hit it up the outside of his right foot and stick it around the corner of the keeper. But what was ironic, he wanted an earlier ball from Vincent on that, you know. He was pulling on the defender's shoulder, didn't get it, and the Liverpool defence still hadn't readjusted. Now, whether that should be Stan Staunton coming in and pulling in, or whether Herpier's doing a little bit too much ball watching.
John Dean and Lou Macari together there, very experienced backup for Steve Bruce. Macari, a cup winner against Liverpool. Involved in that strange goal which actually denied Liverpool the treble in 1977. They had a pretty good night in Rome 4 days later. Staunton. Haman. Carragher. This is Murphy.
Yeah, he's straying more and more off the flank now, Murphy.
Switzer has Gerrard available in support. It's Gerrard's cross. Just turned away from camera by Francis. Good defending by the Welsh international. Herpier is forward. Gerrard is forward. Stefan Onshow doesn't come up for the corners. Overhit by Murphy. Carragher trying to make something of it. Volleyed first time by Sami Herpier, and it was deflected behind for a corner. Well, that's not quite why he came forward for the corner, but he made a pretty good fist of it when it came his way on the volley.
I think unless this gets the deflection, I think this would have been goal. Deflected head, he hit it full, and that's a very, very brave defensive deflection.
Great shot, wasn't it?
Yes, I thought it was rocketing in that.
Towards Herpier again. Switzer. Well claimed this time by Nico Barson. Here goes Thornley trying to lead a counter, but he's outnumbered. Offside, Michael Owen.
Good defending by Huddersfield, squeezed up quickly, left Owen in there. the ball's on this left-hand side in the attacking half for Sunderland, whether Thornley's got it, whether Sellers has got it, or whether Vincent's got it, Vinard takes some great positions where he pulls just towards the second centre-back.
This is Sellers. It's almost like basketball. You have a chance, we'll have a chance.
I tell you what, I think it's a super game. And what's helping it as well, you know, it's a good day for playing football, and the pitch is in great nick. And when you look at Scott Sellers, I mean, he's pulled it down there. There's no more accomplished player on the field than Scott Sellers. All right, he's at the wrong stage of his career, but there was talk earlier this year, there were rumours going around that he might force his way back into the England setup. Try and fill in one of those left-hand positions that we're having a lot of problems with. I'm a little bit surprised about what you said there about Honchad not coming up for corners, you know, because they do look to have sized down a lot. You just think an extra body in there might give them added problems.
Best part of half an hour played of a riveting FA Cup tie. Still 0-0.
What's happening as well now, we see Staunton on the ball, but Gerrard's made one or two breaks now. Where both fullbacks were staying at home early on, they're both starting to venture forward a little bit now.
We were entitled to feel left out if you're not involved in an attacking role of some kind. Bit of a problem there for Armstrong. He won his place back last weekend because of Ken Moncau's injury. He was a regular in the Premiership first half of last season under Dave Bassett, but you had to change things around a little bit, Ron, when you came to the club.
Yeah, I mean, Huddersfield had always been keen on him under the previous management, and we needed to try and get some money to try and do some reinvesting. We got the money but didn't reinvest.
Oh, they got in each other's way a bit there, Gray and Armstrong. Sellers trying to sort it out, but it's Camera! And Scott Sellers' hand is raised as 10 pairs of Huddersfield eyes look at him.
Yeah, that's where you don't want Scott Sellers on the ball trying to take the heat out of the game right in the middle of his own penalty area.
And that's what Huddersfield don't need, another centre-back with an injury problem. Craig Armstrong is down.
You know, it's amazing as well how many times that happens at a football club. It always seems it's a certain position where players get injured, be it your strikers are all out or your defenders all tend to get injured at the same time.
Gordon Strachan's going through exactly the same thing at the moment. Well, he looks like he should be able to soldier on.
Barry Horn wouldn't come on and play centre-half, would he?
No, they got John Dyson on the bench.
If little Barry would have a go.
He'd have a go.
And he'd love it, wouldn't he, Liverpool?
Armstrong's going to play on for now. Dyson, the centre-back, is stripped off and ready to go.
Yeah, certainly against the liveliness and brightness of Owen and Camera, the last thing you want is a centre-half that's having trouble turning and trouble with his pace. Dyson's re-jacketed though. Not yet.
Clearance by Vassell. Now Sellers, Weinhardt. Carragher breaking up the party. Camera. Nothing to do with the colour of his skin, they're to do with a couple of fairly extravagant dives early in the game, when you have those joiners. This is Gorey. Now Stewart. Francis. He's done what? He's got outside Herpier. He did the header from Moncho. Irons trying to force it forward. A man away. Owen unable to hold it up. He was fouled by Armstrong. Pretty stoical, Michael Owen. He knows he's got a few years of that kind of treatment ahead of him. Incredible, really. I think this is only the third time he's ever played in an FA Cup tie. He did score in the other two. Sweetson. That's way out of order. Murphy. A man to Staunton. Huddersfield Town going to get? How many can they afford to waste? Not many more, I shouldn't think.
Full marks there from Sellers. He's got that as a result of pressing Carragher. He really, in my opinion, he wanted to slot Weinhardt in, you know. But I think Honchop's just held his position long enough so he couldn't get the ball through to him. He's gone for it, so he's forced him to shoot.
So Liverpool have got to make a change at the back. And Steve Staunton, who was a cup winner with them in 1989, is being replaced by Dominic Matteo. Incidentally, Staunton was substituted in that cup final, and they brought a fella called Venison on in his place that day. And he and somebody called Ian Rush managed to contrive a victory for Liverpool against Everton. I think Rush made a slightly bigger contribution than Venison on the day. Camera. Smeets up. Nice. Oh, Camera! Terrific goal! Wonderful volley by Titi Camera. Just for a moment, Vassen, who got a left hand to it, might have felt he'd kept it out. But from Smeets' cross, Titi Camera rocketed the ball into the corner of the net to give Liverpool the lead.
Well, he set up the move with his ball to Smeets, and that's a great volley. Desperately unlucky from the keeper, Vassen, but he's had a very easy chance early on. There's no chance at all there, and he's tucked away, and a brilliant shot. Slightly behind him so the defender can't get at it, and as I say, Vassen desperately unlucky.
Titi Camera marks his FA Cup debut, and surely he is the first Guinean ever to have played in this famous competition, with a wonderful goal, his fourth in his last 6 matches. Well, he started more games than not this season, mainly because Gerard Houllier has been unable to get Owen and Fowler on the field together for more than 95 minutes, would you believe, this season. That's all they've played together. But Camera is more than an able deputy, even for that calibre of strike force. He's very much a part of the Liverpool attack. And those half a dozen openings that Huddersfield have squandered during the opening 35 minutes suddenly seem all that more costly.
If they can keep the discipline and keep the belief, they'll get other chances. It's whether they let that second goal in.
Vincent. Now Thornley. Gerrard stood his ground. This is Owen. Now Smeets. Roll forward to Gerrard in more familiar territory, rampaging forward. It's Steven Gerrard on the ball, just held up by Armstrong. Scored a wonderful goal, his first senior goal in similar circumstances last weekend, Gerrard. Irons though to Gorry. Stepped away from Carragher. It's Dean Gorry looking for Weinhardt. Cut out by Honcho, and Gorry's next pass wasn't quite up to the standard of his last.
Yeah, he got excited, made a break. He was looking forward to get positive, like he's done quite a number of times in the game. Just got a little bit anxious when he got the rebound. I certainly wouldn't rule Huddersfield out of this, though. I mean, Liverpool, for me, have played very, very well. Quality of the passing's been good. They've zipped it about, and yet Huddersfield have more than matched it. You also look at Camera and think to yourself, even when Fowler is fit, he could go in alongside him somewhere. The there could be a role for him as a free player, like a wingers type player.
Here is the draw for the Euro 2000 finals. It's Germany again. Germany, Romania, who beat England at the last World Cup finals, and Portugal, who were outstanding in qualifying, are the three sides that England will face in the opening phase of the Euro 2000 finals in Holland and Belgium this coming summer.
Looks like we got the lucky card again, doesn't it?
Germany, the holders, the Euro 96 winners, already in England's World Cup qualifying group. And here is their playmaker, Dietmar Hamann. Portugal, who actually qualified as best group runners-up, but were the second top scorers in all of the qualifying stages, and Romania, who qualified unbeaten for the finals. More of that at half-time. Weinhardt. Now Thornley. It's dangerous. Festival's lost it. This is Gore. Oh, it just wouldn't fall for Weinhardt. Murphy got it away. Still Thornley though. Gerrard did well again. Huddersfield have a throw. They could have had a whole lot more.
Yeah, another good movement from Huddersfield. All a result of the strength and persistence of the centre forward Weinhardt.
Gore unable to make contact with that cross from Vincent. Oh, it's come all the way through. It's Weinhardt! Oh, he blazed at it. He didn't expect to get the chance. He never really set himself and snatched at it hopelessly.
You just wonder here, have a look at Gore, whether Gore could have passed some information on to him. May have been a bit far away, but that was another sitter. Some pass there. Camera's a very relieved man. Oh, it's a wild one. Unfortunately, his actual shooting hasn't matched the quality of the rest of his game today. He's made great positions, he's been persistent, he's given the defenders real problems, and yet he's had 3 good chances now and he hasn't really put any of them away.
And Titi Camara, whose shooting is the difference between the two sides at the moment, almost having scored Liverpool's goal, presented Huddersfield with an equaliser. Liverpool is certainly getting more free kicks than their opponents. It's the 1 yellow card so far. And that for the Huddersfield central defender, Gray. Gore, though, has found Weinhardt again. Hurpier managed to hold him up. Gore was 3 to his right. Now Thornley. This is Irons. Gore. Clipped in towards Stewart. Just asked a little bit too much of him. Gerrard's having a very accomplished game at right back again. Irons to Sellers. Stewart. Vincent to Thornley. Sellers able to turn. Clipped in towards Stewart. Headed away by Hurpier. Here's Camara. It's Francis who got back to him. Three minutes remaining of an all-action first half. It's that one goal, Titi Camara's volley after 36 minutes. Thornley's got away from Gerrard this time. And the header was necessary from Honcho. Another Huddersfield corner.
Yeah, and they're very much watching Liverpool as this improved defensive record they've got. It seems as if Julia's got them zone marking, but I tell you what, the way the Huddersfield players get in between them, whether they're defending well by design or by accident, I'm not sure, but the Huddersfield strikers are getting plenty of room.
Vincent's corner, dealt with by Gerrard. Yes, clean sheets don't always tell all the story. Thornley.
He ignored the obvious one then, Thornley. Been shattered in by Smeacer, but he got a very obvious little ball off to Irons. He's now on the ball now.
Irons lifted in towards Feinhardt. Didn't have much joy against Herpia in the air. Gerrard was just caught there by Feinhardt. There's a bit going on between them still, more from Feinhardt's side than Gerrard's, I should say. This is Thornley. He was aware that Goré was there, but he telegraphed it a bit and Matteo got in. Sellers. Vincent. Thornley was just tripped there by Smeacer. He's doing his best to help out Gerrard, but it's not the half that Vladimir Smeacer really wants to be playing in. Oh, and Thornley's got away from Smeacer here. Gerrard is there. He's giving it straight to Vincent. Now Irons rolled in towards Stewart, and Carragher just got to him, and as we tick into stoppage time, Huddersfield have another corner.
I tell you what, I don't think the Liverpool defence would thank me for saying it, but I hope the referee loses his watch. Wouldn't mind watching another 45 minutes of this non-stop.
Vincent will take the corner. Header away is by Herpia, hit by Ben Thornley on the half volley, but a rising half volley. Well, what can Steve Bruce say to them other than carry on?
Yeah, tell them, have a cup of tea, lads, get yourself ready, you've done brilliant. They have been smashing. He was out on the bench there trying to urge them forward, but they've been brilliant. I tell you, this is as good a game as I've seen this season. This is excellent. Both sides, brilliant.
There's a 3-minute additional period to be played.
There's that space again, they do leave him plenty of room to travel with it.
Thornley just hung up a little bit, encouraged Sona Westerveld to come from his line.
Whether Gerrard's got the nod at right back in place of Hagen because they feel he can defend better 1-for-1.
Well, Song's been playing there.
He's certainly getting no help at all from Smeacer from a defensive point of view.
Vegard Hegem has been out of favour and is currently injured. Rigobert Song is the one who's been relegated to the bench today. Here is Thornley. Smeacer did well that time. Carragher. Well, that's a loose one from Gerrard. Bernhard couldn't quite cut it out. Where Smeacer wants to be. Gerrard to Haman. Owen. I think Liverpool know that we're near to half-time and that they've got a one-goal lead. It's almost like a batsman playing through the last over here before stumps. Sit out! Sit out! Huddersfield throw. Well, first things first, it's been a wonderful first half. The next thing, the only goal it's provided was a wonderful hit from Titi Camera, because when Smitsa delivered the cross on the right-hand side, Camera volleyed instantly, and despite a wonderful attempt by Nico Vassen to keep it out, Camera's goal, one of many chances which have fallen to each side, is the difference between the two teams at half-time. We'll be back with Barry, Terry and Des after this break. Tuesday, which will be celebrated next Saturday at Anfield with a parade of some of his former players before the game against Coventry, amongst them one Kevin Keegan. Certainly one of the most remarkable men I've ever met. And one of the most remarkable cup ties of the weekend is back in swing with Huddersfield, as they have been, on the attack. Weinhardt, stolen from him by Gerrard. And the header away is by Herpier. This is Hamann. Now Murphy. And now Dominic Matteo, who came on as a first half substitute for Steve Staunton. Hamann. Camera nailed by Gray. Gore to Irons. Now Marcus Stewart. On show slipped. Stewart goes on. Plenty happening to his left. This is Sellers. Slid through towards Weinhardt. Hope he managed to get to that one. Michael Owen. Liverpool haven't been able to bring into the game as much as they would like in the first half.
No, apart from that one little chance when he tried to chip Basson, he's been forced really, and that may be clever play to have the ball into his feet most of the while, and then they just close him out and ask him to knock it back. Just Michael Owen spent a lot of time linking the play, which is not really his game.
Matteo. This is Camera. Dietmar Hamann is in need of some attention at the moment. Here comes Gerrard. Camera trying to slip away from Armstrong. Oh, Gray's touch wasn't the best. Here is Owen, who is being wrestled by Sellers. The decision has gone against him. Yeah, I thought that, Michael. Anyway, here comes Ben Thornley. Oh, Thornley was caught by Herpier. No free kick there either. Owen through towards Camera. Mr. Harris has left his whistle in the dressing room. He stopped play now because Thornley needs some attention.
Herpier put a very strong challenge on him, but I tell you what, a better ball would have actually got him in. The ball was a bit too close to the defender.
He did win the FA Youth Cup with Manchester United, and the team of Giggs and Scholes and Butt and Gary Neville, Ben Thornley. I suppose Herpier got some of the ball there. But the injury to his knee in a reserve team match in '94 set him back 18 months. He got back into the England under-21 side, actually, played alongside David Beckham at that level. But it's really in the last 12 months with Huddersfield that people have really started to look at Ben Thornley again, particularly under the guidance of his former teammate at Manchester United, Steve Bruce. Looking to go down the side of Honcho. Matteo's there. Throwing his Liverpool's.
Good volume of noise from the crowd, though, wasn't it? They're getting, they haven't given up. They still think their team's in with a real chance.
Weinhardt kept it in. Herpier got it away. Vincent, that's beautifully played into the path of Thornley, which ran away from him. Sellers, but he'd already unloaded the ball.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary then for the referee really to stop the momentum of the game. Liverpool had got the possession they wanted. It's broke the game up. And the last thing we want with this game is for the momentum to stop. I think Liverpool, if they could, would try and control the tempo a little bit, the pace of the game, try and steady it up a little bit, but that's the last thing Huddersfield really want.
Carragher to Owen. Sweetser. Carragher to Haman this time. I wonder if he was told the Euro 2000 draw during the half-time interval, the German international. Here's Gerrard tiptoeing forward into some space. Lifted into Sweetser. Knocked out of the air by Nico Vassen.
I think we should be a little bit fair as well to Liverpool. While we tended to talk mainly about Huddersfield for natural reasons, Liverpool have played in a good way, haven't they? The Liverpool way, if you like. They've controlled it, they've passed it, they've played with assurance. Certainly when they've been in possession of the ball.
Scott Sellers. It's caught by Sweetser. On the one hand, Liverpool want him to come back and try and help out Gerrard, but on the other hand, the problem is that because he's not a natural defender, he's going to give some free kicks away.
I think he's also fortunate not to go in the book for that. He's given that little innocent look, but I don't think you wanted Sellers weaving at their penalty area with possession.
Now, can Huddersfield Town exact their own brand of punishment?
What they really want to do is get the two big centre halves out of the way.
Vincent takes. Header away. It's by Carragher. Struck by Gorey and deflected behind by Gerrard. Don't think it was quite goal-bound, although Gerrard could have guided it to his own net.
It's a well-struck shot. There's the free kick. It's headed out, and he's coming up with Gorey now. He's hit it well. It would have gone close. Anything could have happened with that one.
Vincent will take the corner. In towards Reinhardt. Well, literally beats the turf in disgust.
I just wondered here, Clive, whether he's taken this off irons. He's come off the line, he's coming away from goal to get the header on here. Kenny Irons is flying into the space that the ball might just drop in.
He was certainly next in the queue, wasn't he?
Yeah.
A better view here, Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, he was, wasn't it?
Tell you. But I mean, obviously, he's pent up, he's wound up, he's trying to get the equaliser. He's not aware of people coming in from that position.
The ball from Carragher to Camera. Now Sweetser. Haman. Oh, it's fallen for Owen. He didn't expect it to come his way. Just couldn't quite get it out from underneath his feet.
I thought Haman might have pulled the trigger himself there, because he has got a great shot from that distance.
Liverpool attacking the end of the McAlpine Stadium, behind which their supporters, 4,000 of the 24,000 inside the ground are gathered. Both clubs could have sold more tickets. Irons has gone down sorely. Murphy though to Haman. Now Sweetser. Huddersfield a bit stretched here. Sweetser's pulled it back. It's Haman.
That was a great chance. Sweetser's completely wrong-footed the defence. Everybody's looking for the ball played into the near post. Owens made the run. They're all making runs for the near post, and he's completely unmarked, Haman. I said about a minute ago, and he is a good knocker of the ball, and he's leaning back, he skied that one. I actually thought he would have rocketed that in the back.
It's only his 9th game for Liverpool, you know. He's had ankle problems ever since he signed for the club, and they paid £8 million for him in the summer, twice as much as any of Gerard Houllier's other signings. In the last couple of months, they've got Honcho and Herpier together.
I think he's going to be vitally important as well, don't you, without Redknapp in the side?
Well, I say they haven't really been able to get those two together, Haman and Redknapp, and they can't get Owen and Fowler together. Thornley. Now Beinhardt. Now Stewart. That's a lot of Gorey. He might just reach it. Rolled into Vinehart. How's it being held? No. The signal's gone the other way. Stefan Onsho getting the benefit of any doubt.
Yeah, linesman in referee in perfect unison there, but it's a surprising decision. In that position, you would have thought it's more likely the defender's going to have to foul. You can't see much wrong in that. I mean, most forwards would... I mean, that was Pelly's strength, if you want to go a step further, holding people off with his arm.
Murphy. Was a bit of a blind alley, really, for Danny Murphy. Steve Jenkins happy enough to usher him down there. He's trying to take his chance, Danny Murphy. He's had to wait for it. This is his third season with Liverpool. Back on the England under-21 scene. Phil Thompson always animated, but Gerard Houllier looks a little nervous still. Sellers. Oh, that's a lovely ball. Gives Stewart some grass to run onto. Stewart's cross. Quite long enough, dealt with by Gerard. Owen. Left up by Sellers. Referee could have been closer. It's a foul, isn't it?
It's almost a submission. Full marks to Scott Sellers, been in the game sometime. Still very, very enthusiastic about it.
Vincent's touch might have turned that into Sweets' path, and that's a corner kick as a result. Murphy's on the way. Dominic Matteo not far behind him. Won't reach them though. Turned away by Stewart, back in by Murphy, away by Gorey. Gerard did get a little tug then from Vinehart, but only before the referee had turned his head.
I'll tell you what, if Huddersfield get a corner in the next few minutes, I can see Brucey coming on for it. I'm also wondering if they ever did drop the tempo. They've got Donis on the bench, haven't they, who's as quick as anything in the game, really.
Georgios Donis, the Greek international winger who's been out for injury.
He could just come on with a 15-minute burst if they need it. Come on, he's wise to let it go as it is. The side's doing ever so well. Perhaps not quite as cohesive as they were in the first half, but they're still keeping the percentage of the game.
Thornley takes. Not the best. Made away by Haman. Thornley again. Sweetser though. Now Camera. Liverpool have got an army charging forward to his left, and heading that army is Dietmar Hamann. He'll leave it though for Dominic Matteo. On the outside of irons, it's Matteo! Liverpool lead by 2 goals to 0. And from one end of the field to the other in the blink of an eye. And Dominic Matteo was the man who rounded off that dramatic counter-attack.
But I tell you what, Kenny Irons is desperately unlucky. He slips just as he's trying to jockey Matteo, and that leaves Matteo on his left foot, going in on goal. Unfortunately, keeper couldn't. He's had a hand on both goals, but that's the ball that really makes it. They're queuing up on the counter to take that. The keeper's had a touch on both goals, but hasn't done quite enough to prevent them going in. Lightning break, cruel for Huddersfield.
It's only the second time that Dominic Matteo's name has appeared on the Liverpool score sheet. Graham Souness gave him his first run in the team 6 years ago. Glenn Hoddle called him into an England squad or 2-3 years ago. His career's never quite taken off in the way it's promised, but he took off then. And as a substitute in the left-back role that he doesn't altogether favour, Dominic Matteo has given Liverpool some breathing space in a breathless cup tie.
Yeah, there he slips. That's unlucky. Whether he'd have stopped him, I don't know. He possibly may have forced him to go slightly wider.
Well, that is the expression of a born winner who's seeing the prospect of victory slip away from his team. Steve Bruce's Huddersfield trail by 2 goals to 0. Sellers. Headed down by Gerrard. This is Carragher. Here's Matteo. Camera. Turned away by Francis. Corey to Sellers. Sammy Herpia. Steve Bruce's expression was all that Liverpool fans needed to ask him what the score was. Who knows? Matteo. Looks a dangerous cross too. Pretty composed defending one way and another with Michael Owen in the vicinity.
I think that Michael Owen was a bit upset that Smisa didn't go and join him in the penalty box.
Kenny Irons. Dean Gorek. Straight to Orchard. Steven Gerrard. Michael Owen. Carragher to Matteo.
Very seldom is it more than 2 touches when it's in midfield. Liverpool train, that's a beautiful ball.
Carragher to Smita. You know, they spent a lot of money, Liverpool, but you look at the local talent that's on this field, and it's very, very heartening because even in the late 70s and 80s, when they were probably the best team in the world, they weren't actually bringing all that many local players through into the first team. But we've got Gerrard at right back here, Matteo at left back, Carragher now competing for the ball in midfield, not to mention Owen and Fowler. Thornley.
Whether they've been warned about him at half-time, Ben Thornley, certainly he appears to be a bit quieter this half. And in actual fact, just before the break on the second goal, unfortunately, he lost possession a bit easy.
Weinhardt crossed in towards Gorey, has some catching up to do. Kenny Irons. Jenkins to Stewart, couldn't quite turn. Away as far as Thornley. Now Stewart. Great. Sellers. Weinhardt. Sellers. Leading back.
Tell you what, in the last third though, he can still winkle things out, Scott Sellers. Little threaded ball in here, comes at him a bit fierce, he can't quite get over it. And you would say the worst part of his game today, or the least impressive, has been his shooting. It's about the third shot he's had, but his general link-up play, his enthusiasm, his energy has been top draw.
Well, we've had a fantastic atmosphere here today. It's the travelling Liverpudlians who are making much of the noise inside the McAlpine Stadium. Fantastic reaction from the home fans. This is Thornley. Familiar barrier provided by Gerrard, and now Smita. And this is Camera, and that's a terrific ball. It's Michael Owen now. Oh, and somehow Vincent caught up with him. And Owen's hesitation cost him dear. Real opportunity there for Michael Owen to put Liverpool over the hills and far away. Instead it's Marcus Stewart. Tackled though by Honshaw.
Yeah, Jamie Vincent did remarkably well, did brilliant to make up the ground, but you can't believe that Michael Owen in that position would give anybody a second chance to catch him up. Camera played him a perfect ball right into his run, the sort of ball that if you wanted one player in the world to be on the end of it, it'd be Michael Owen. Whether that's a little bit of confidence, not quite as high as it is when he's at his best. Maybe needed an extra touch where normally just take it and slot it without thinking. That's a good ball.
Weinhardt trying to get beyond Honshaw. It's Clyde Weinhardt! Half a dozen chances he's had.
And he gets the majority, you know, Clive, by that starting position. He has got a great knack. Look at his position here between defenders. Good first touch, good strength, outstrengths the defender. Got it all on the keeper's taking up a bit, you know, he's filling a big part of the goal, and that's the ball. Look at that. How many times would you put your money on there? Just dwells, the ball slows a little bit, but that's Michael Owen trying to be too sure. Confidence not quite as high as normal.
Camera speaks up. Haman. Gerrard. Gerrard, I know, not quite on the same wavelength there. You know, Huddersfield paid £750,000 for Clyde Weinhardt in the summer. Will one or two Premiership managers be sitting at home after their Sunday lunches thinking, why didn't we think about him?
Oh, I tell you what, on the evidence of that, yeah, he's missed some. But I mean, you look at his record of the season, he's weighed in, what, with a dozen already, and you can see why he gets goals.
It has been a handful, sadly for him and for Huddersfield. He hasn't been able to finish off a lot of his own handiwork. Camera's little flip on towards Mattia. We are going to see the Greek winger Georgios Donis, of whom Ron Atkinson was speaking a moment or two ago. He is imminent. On the ball is Kenny Irons, who, quite apart from being Huddersfield's captain, is a lifelong Everton fan. You think you need extra motivation on days like this? Irons has got it. That's
why it's particularly cruel, you know, when he slipped in the box. Because I tell you what, there's not been many better players on the field than Kenny Irons today.
I don't suppose you'd know who is the coach of the Liverpool Schools under-15 team, would you? It's Kenny Irons. He's a Merseysider and still lives there. Vincent. So the quarter of the match remaining. Smeets looking throw in, Armstrong's there.
It'd be great if Huddersfield could nick one and get it to 2-1, and we wouldn't have a game on then.
Irons to Stewart. This is Gore. Weinhardt couldn't reach it. Certainly on shows hands were on his shoulders.
Shows again though the value, how he gets himself nestled inside defenders. He doesn't make it easy for defenders to clean things out.
He was involved in a very contentious penalty appeal at the end of Huddersfield's Worthington Cup exit to Wimbledon. There was some talk of the club threatening to sue Jeff Winter for not giving a penalty against Dean Blackwell that night. I've seen replays of the incident. There's no doubt that Blackwell caught Weinhardt, but no doubt that Weinhardt was holding Blackwell's shirt. Owen is offside here.
There's going to be a decision and a half for Steve, you know. This is going to show where managers have to make decisions. If he brings Donis on, who he's going to take off, because it'll be hard pressed who he's going to take off. Whether he's going to take one of his wide players off, go with three front players, I don't know.
Nothing doing for Weinhardt again.
Or whether he'll just replace a striker 1-for-1, but both strikers, Stewart, to be fair, this half hasn't been quite as prominent as he was in the first half. But they've always give the impression they can get something. And this fella's been excellent for me.
Sellers to Irons. Now Thornley.
That's been the difference. At this half, a big difference. Gerrard has won a lot more ball.
Here goes Owen. Pass one, pass two. Forces the save. That's Michael Owen in full flow.
That's encouraging, though. I'm sure if he'd have took his earlier one, the Kamara, like Kamara done for him, and just took it out of his feet like that, I think he'd have been on the sheet now.
Gorry, though, for Huddersfield. Held up by Murphy. Couldn't dispossess him, though. On goes Gorry. Showed too much of it to Herpier. Still forced it into the edge of the box. Spitzer let Gerrard down there. Vincent has found Stewart. Oh, he could have gone on, I think. Owen. It was wrestled again, there's no doubt about it. It's a bit of a complex building up here, almost a la Beckham, because of Michael Owen and who he is. He is short of real match fitness at the moment, and maybe shows some effectiveness as a result, but that doesn't mean he's immune to being fouled. Liverpool have got Rigobert Song stripped off, and Huddersfield have got Georgios Donis stretched off. That's the modern FA Cup, with a Czech going off to be replaced by a Cameroon international.
And that itself is a mark of respect, I think, to Huddersfield. An extra defender on by the look of it.
And a Greek international coming on to replace Ben Thornley.
Yeah, I think what will happen now, they'll go three midfield by the look of it. Donis will come on the right wing. Gorry will move infield one, and Sellers will do the left-hand job, so they can retain the balance.
Looks like Steven Gerrard's just going to play in front of Rigobert Song down the Liverpool right. He really is a play-anywhere player, Gerrard. But Georgios Donis is an interesting character. He was courted by all the top clubs when Blackburn signed him in 1996, but no sooner had he arrived than first Alan Shearer and then Kenny Dalglish left, and he had a rather unhappy time before Steve Bruce brought him back from Greece in the summer. He's been injured recently. Sellers. Here's Stewart, who is a goal scorer due a goal. Didn't get many lying on the floor. That was a crude tackle. No sign of a card. Stefan Onsho.
He's another one that's a bit fortunate. The referee's been a bit lenient with him, hasn't he?
Vincent will take the free kick. Comfortable header for Matteo. Irons. This is Donis. Francis with the cross. Stewart beyond the far post. Almost came for Gray, who's still forward, but Vesterveld reached it.
Oh, it's a good take. Sort of take keepers do take, but it was a vital one. I think Gray was just seeing the end of a ball in an empty net there.
The replays for the FA Cup are on Wednesday week, and the big match on that Wednesday night will have the best of the third round replays. Live football tonight on ITV2. That comes from the Italian Serie A, and it's Juventus versus Inter Milan, and it's 7:25 tonight on ITV2. Weinhardt into the path of Donis. Possibilities here. Donis tried his luck. Might still come for Stewart. Well, it was a bit ambitious from the Greek, but it almost ricocheted into the path of Marcus Stewart.
Yeah, he thought when he received it there, he's going to knock it on the outside of the defender and run into the grass with his pace, but opted to go for a shot. And unfortunately, Marcus Stewart's header wasn't carrying much.
Just over a quarter of an hour remaining. The Huddersfield thread has been relentless, but no end product. And marked contrast, Liverpool have scored either side of half-time through Titi Camara and Dominic Mattia. Dietmar Hamann. Throw in is Huddersfield's.
I think one thing, another plus point from the Liverpool point of view is you have to say that regardless, no matter how much pressure they've been under, they've still kept their way of playing.
Gerrard. Here's Song.
They've almost pushed into a 3 at the back now with Song. He's almost gone into that narrow position.
There's the Yorkshire Imperial Brass Band. 2 cornets, 1 soprano, 1 drum, 1 flugelhorn will travel. And they are the cheerleaders of the McAlpine Stadium. Not that they've needed much encouragement this afternoon, the Huddersfield fans. Their team's performance has provided a lot of that. Irons. Carragher got to him. Gerrard. Carragher. Song. Well, even Michael Owen will reach that. This is his 5th game in a row, and he's hasn't had that kind of run until now this season. His hamstring problems dated back to April. Gorey to Irons. Jenkins. Now Donis. Gorey. Trying to slip it into Weinhardt, who levered Herpier off the ball, which takes some doing. Even Sammy sees the funny side of that.
They'll know they've been in a game, though, regardless. I mean, even if they do come out the right side, the 2 central defenders, Herpier and Honches.
Stewart. Sellers. Slipping Song. Playing Stewart in. Weinhardt is waiting. It's Marcus Stewart. Vesterveld did just enough. Oh, Murphy in trouble though. Survived it. Now Donis. Gorey. Francis. Little flick from Weinhardt. Well, how on earth have Huddersfield gone this far without scoring at least once? Marcus Stewart providing.
That was a great opportunity then, though, for Stewart. You thought he could have been a little bit more selective with his last ball. Donis was clear on the back post. Weinhardt had a good position, but fortunately just played it a little bit close on the keeper. Now this is where he's got to get ahead of steam up. He hasn't threatened with his pace yet.
Gorey into Weinhardt. Here is Donis! Beaten away by Vesterveld. It's managed to lift it over his crossbar.
Good effort, good strong effort. Beautiful layoff here from the centre forward. Holds the defender off Weinhardt, puts it right in Donis's path. Pity it wasn't a little bit to the side of the big goalkeeper. I'll tell you what, full marks Huddersfield, they're coming and coming on. A lot better sides than them, or a lot higher sides than them, would have packed in with Liverpool 2 up.
Vincent will take the corner. In towards Stewart. Murphy it is who guides it rather uncertainly away.
You know, Clive, I was talking to a lot of people yesterday at the game, and they were saying, as the FA Cup lost its sort of magic, this is a great cup tie, this.
Jenkins to Donis. Tackled by Murphy. Jenkins going in wholeheartedly, but so too Murphy. Now Camera. Oh, he's done well. Right upside irons. Cross wasn't the best. Vincent heads away. Dean Gore. Back to Jamie Vincent. Song's header, not quite what he intended.
Well, for a minute it looked Hurpy did very well then. It looks as if we're going to play a chancy back pass to the keeper.
Here's Owen. Change of direction which has completely defeated Gray. Vincent got back there. And the free kick's gone Huddersfield's way. Well, a year ago only one Premiership team was victim of a third-round shock at the first time of asking, and that was Ayling Nottingham Forest. Southampton and West Ham followed after replays. The goalkeeper off limits to deny Stewart. Really, aside from Rushton taking leads to a second game, that was the sum total of the surprise packets this time last year. We had 4 yesterday. And Huddersfield could have provided a 5th today. May still, who knows? We've got some miracle working to do in the last 10 minutes. Weinhardt. Sellers. Vincent with a cross. It's a good one. Gore's there. Might come for Jenkins, but knocked away by Murphy. Donis. Jenkins. Irons. Vincent to Weinhardt. Slips out to Georgios Donis again. Oh, it's a terrific cross. Rigobert Song away. Steve Jenkins. Rolled into Marcus Stewart. Jenkins. Donis. Stewart able to turn, on the half turn at least, but run off the ball by Hurpier. Owen back to Gerrard. Look where Hurpier is. Good use of the ball though. Titi Camera. Doesn't do anything in a plain sort of way, does he? Liverpool just trying to wind the clock down and turn the heat down a little. Owen. Played Matty Owen. Well, I think once is quite enough for one afternoon, Dominic. But he enjoyed his goal.
I'm just wondering how surprised he was that Owen laid that one off to him. It's a great setting up for him, but I thought Owen might have had a little dip with his left foot there. He played the right ball, to be fair.
Well, when you've doubled your career total in one afternoon, then I think it's probably best to declare. Change is to bring on teenage striker Danny Schofield in place of Marcus Stewart, who as much as anything just needs a change of luck. Schofield, who was man of the match on his debut in the final game of last season. He's only made a couple of substitute appearances this. He's a Doncaster lad. Weinhardt. Kenny Irons. Georgios Donis down to Steve Jenkins. Vincent. Weinhardt. Oh, it's a lovely turn, but he just couldn't quite keep his feet. He is a box of tricks, though. Sellers. There goes Weinhardt again. Stefan Onshaw will be glad to see the back of him. We're going to see it again here as he twiddles and twirls. Song got in a challenge on Sellers. Vincent's cross, a little ambitious.
And it's now 1v1 at the back. That one, well, now they've regrouped now. Anything going to come early is Michael Owen one against the last defender. But I mean, that's how they've got to go. They've just got to go for it. Huddersfield now.
What do you mean now? They have been going.
Yeah, they've been brilliant.
From 2 o'clock, haven't they?
Yeah. And they've done it with quality. Energy, effort, but great quality.
Talking of energy, here's Michael Owen. Liverpool not had an FA Cup run since losing to Eric Cantona's late goal at Wembley in 1996. Robbie Fowler and Jamie Redknapp are the only two who played that day now with the club. Their last FA Cup win was 7 years ago. 7 years which have yielded just one trophy. One of the unsolved mysteries of recent seasons. And there's the man who's doing his best to solve the mystery. And I have to make the comment, Liverpool have backed his judgment to the extent of making their first ever annual loss last year. And their chief executive, Rick Parry, talked at the AGM recently of the necessity to qualify for the Champions League at least in order to start to justify the £5 million loss that Liverpool made last year. There's speculation in order to try and build a winning squad again. They're heading in the right direction.
And if they go all the way this year, and who's to say they won't, if they go all the way this year, they'll not face anybody much better than this on the evidence of today.
Gore was caught by Haman. Huddersfield have a free kick just outside the Liverpool penalty area.
Barnard, what's he had 5, 6 reasonable chances, still wants to take this by the look of it. No, he's been warned off it.
Kenny Irons is the usual specialist. Sellers and Vincent, the two left footers, are there too. It seems to suit Irons' side. It's Irons, it was deflected, it's brushed the wall and over for a corner kick. Hadn't scored since he got the winner at Chelsea back in October. He scored a bundle for Tranmere last season. Vincent takes. Turn away by Onshaw, and there's a foul there. Liverpool have a free kick. Going to see another young local Liverpool product, John Newby, who's just 21. Stephen Gerrard is going to be replaced. Newby was in that Youth Cup winning team of 1996 with Michael Owen. He's essentially a forward. Going to slot in on that right-hand side in front of Rigobert Song. His only previous appearances have been in the Worthington Cup.
I'll tell you what, you mentioned about Shanks yesterday in the history, earlier about the history and everything leading up to it. He'd have enjoyed this match, wouldn't he? He'd have enjoyed seeing his two old sides having a go like this, and the quality of it as well.
The result of Bill Shankly's last match in charge of Huddersfield Town in 1959, a win over Liverpool. Certain symmetry as we come round to his 40th anniversary. Liverpool are about to record a win over Huddersfield. Last of the 90 minutes. Matteo, camera. Given that Fowler is close, given that Berger is close, Redknapp still to come. How close are Liverpool now to where they need to be, Rob, do you think?
Well, they certainly have got, certainly in the attacking zone. Funnily enough, the part of the thing that still leaves me a little bit, let's see if they score. I hope they don't. It'd be cruel for, they're going to win the game, but it'd be cruel for Huddersfield. I'm still not convinced by the back unit. And yet, you know, they look as if they've kept a clean sheet.
The Huddersfield to go up?
Oh, on the evidence of this, I haven't seen a better side in the division this season. But I don't know quite how big a squad Steve's got. Looks as if he has. He's got a very good team. Whether his squad is strong enough, or whether he's got to reinforce a bit in terms of new numbers.
Well, it's interesting, of the top 6 in last season's First Division who earned a promotion or a playoff place, none of them got involved in a cup run. They were all out by the 4th round. So that's the consolation today.
What he's certainly done, he's certainly shown what a good advert Huddersfield are for the division.
A couple of those yesterday too.
I tell you, one of the hardest jobs today commentating might have been if you'd have had to pick the man of the match. I think everybody on the field have acquitted themselves excellently.
Go on then.
Oh, I tell you who I think might be a very strong contender for me, Scott Sellers and Kenny Irons. And daft as it may seem, the big lad up front has missed all the chances because he's kept going in there battling. Liverpool, Haman's played well. The boy Gerrard, who you were on about earlier, has played well. Yep. Keepers.
Hey, we've only got so much champagne, okay.
I know, but they all deserve a nice drink afterwards. Been a very worthwhile Sunday afternoon.
Rigobert Song in towards Michael Owen. His last match as a teenager. His 100th for Liverpool. Irons. Reinhardt to Gore. Free kick has been given. Gore was caught. We have the draw for the 4th round of the FA Cup still to come in the programme. This is Jenkins. And Liverpool will be in the hat for the 4th round draw. Goals either side of half-time by Titi Camara and Dominic Matteo. Seen off Steve Bruce's brave and talented side. Camara's dramatic volley, followed by an equally dramatic break from one end of the field to the other, rounded off by Dominic Matteo.